Well, hello there, everybody, and welcome back. Today, we're going to be talking about Burnout and the series before. Now, I know what you're thinking. Well, didn't you do this before? And yes, while I did make a video talking about me missing Burnout as a series in general, in my earlier perspectives, it wasn't as good as its predecessors. I've come to love it. And you might be asking yourselves, so why am I doing this again? And that's because before, when I was talking about Burnout as a series, I was mentioning a lot more of Paradise and how it took so long to love it. With this half of the series being mostly 3 and Revenge and Dominator and the games all the way up to Paradise, it didn't really take much time to fall in love with them because they had a certain charm that was really untouched. Nothing could really match the feeling when you were playing a Burnout game. It had its own style, its own flair, the way it carried itself, the way you guided yourself across the maps, and even small things, the way things are presented, and the way that the game feels as a whole was just genuinely Burnout. And when it moved to Paradise, it just seemed as if it was too large of a difference for me to really accept it as a Burnout game at the time. The games just carried themselves with a style and flair that was particularly unmatched and something that really wasn't seen just in different variations, I guess, whether you were getting a new area, unlocking a trophy for not crashing or blowing up a certain set of vehicles, or whether it was for something small. You know, something that most games would gloss over with just the map of a controller and begging you to play the game. This game had an interactive tutorial called Crash FM that would regularly update you when you got a rank up or whether you were entering into a new type of race that would warrant a tutorial video. And it was really cool to have something like that. It made you feel like you were part of something. Oh yeah, and as well as signature takedowns, which are always fun, and if you collected them all, you got a special vehicle, so it gave you a reason to find them all. So you would think that with not having an open world like Paradise did, with having something like a menu crawl, that it would be a hindrance to the games, but honestly, I genuinely beg to differ. I do like the way that it was mapped out, and I do feel like the way they mapped it out gave way to more creation onto the maps themselves. So the way they had it mapped out was you would have different challenge rankings, anywhere from like say 1 to 20, right? And so if you went to rank 1, you would have certain races or certain things that you would have to do that were beginner mode, and then you could choose to finish the whole area or move on. When you got a certain set of stars, you could move on. But with that, they were also able to change small things, minute things, things that you wouldn't notice on first pass, but if playing through it again or maybe checking out a different rank area, you could see that, oh, okay, this jump wasn't here this time, or oh hey, this shortcut didn't exist, or maybe you had one part of the map where the shortcut was cut off and in another one it was the full way through, so you would have the full shortcut extension rather than just part of it. And I do think that they had but multiple cities in mind, already mapped out and laid out for something like an open world, and then they opted for this menu style because everything was planned perfectly to a T, and there were so many similarities and just minute differences, or changing the track style or maybe changing the layout of the track to where it really did feel like you were in something of a bustling city. Maybe not pedestrians on the sidewalk because you know you're blowing up cars, but there were other people driving, you know, other people being like nobodies because nobody drove. They were kind of just like Hot Wheels. It sort of reminds me of it's just like you were crashing around Hot Wheels. And not just that, you had so many different modes of gameplay to run through. I mean, when you think of Burnout, you think of the chaos, like I said in the previous video, and you think of other things too, like even just the racing was just miles and miles of fun. because they gave you challenges. Like, you didn't have a certain car that was a certain style that gave you the boost that you needed or whatever. What it was you started off with a little boost bar, and the more damage you caused by crashing into other racers, the larger your boost bar would be. And that was the whole point. Cause as much destruction, and then you would be rewarded through your boost and helping you get that first place position. Now, if you got taken out, it would remove a bar from your boost, so you could build it up to ×4. And if you crashed one time or got taken out, then it would drop one set. But there was so much different ways of approaching it. Like, even if you just knew the shortcuts and you wanted to avoid the other racers, you could do that, and still get away with, not getting beat down or whatever. You could still go through the race just playing it like a racing game. It was just really fun. You had multiple things that you could do and multiple things that you could accomplish. Being crash mode, I mean, obviously, the whole base of the Burnout series was based on destruction, even from the very first game, where it wasn't sure what it wanted to do. It wanted to incorporate some style and semblance of crashing your car. Then you have the obvious one, racing, which, I mean, that it is a racing game, so that makes sense. But then they do other things, like they have Burning Lap, where it just seems like it would be a time trial, but they also give you trial cars. A lot of the Burning Laps that you will play in Burnout are just trial cars that you can test out, and when you unlock a certain requisite or when you do a certain challenge set, you'll unlock that car. So it kind of works to, like, hey, if you do these challenges, you'll unlock this car, and it really pushes you to strive and want for that. Then other modes, like one of my favorites, is Road Rage. Road Rage is a series where the whole point of it is to take out the other racers. Now, these other racers are infinite, which means even if you race ahead of them, they will just respawn in front of you, which is nice, but it is one of my favorites because it is just imbued with the whole racing and causing chaos at the same time. It works to both effects, and it really has a shine to it. It really feels like the game shines with these modes. And another one that was also added in the Revenge game was called Traffic Attack. Now, that is another one that is very near and dear to my heart because it is just way too much fun. It is simple as it gets. It's just taking out the other vehicles that aren't racers. You are racing alone, and the whole idea is to just take out other cars and rack up a score. Now, it works also like Pool, where if you get a cross shot or something like that, you'll get extra time. A lot of the things that you will do in this game are time-based, so when you take out other racers in Road Rage, you get more time and you get more boost. When you take out other people in Traffic Attack, you get more time, allowing you to rack up a higher money count and score count, as well as getting more boost. So to that end, it works smoothly. It is almost flawless. These games were really well made. That's why I don't know why they had to change the whole formatting when they did Paradise. Now, again, I did grow to love it, but it took some time. Whereas these games, it felt natural. Everything about them, everything that they were built on and what they represented was natural to what it was. It didn't really take a lot of guesswork as to why are they doing things in this fashion or why are they moving the game in this direction. And I know it sounds crazy, it sounds wild because Need for Speed did it and it was successful, but Need for Speed also did it in a way that feels fresh and stylish. Burnout, it is hard to get that accomplished because there is nothing else to do other than the events. Having the overworld only works to the point of it just existing for the sake of existing. It's not like Need for Speed where there are different shops, different things that you can and can't do outside of racing. there's not a lot you can do, and they tried to add more to it, like they did the billboard smashes and the secret jumps and all of that. But ultimately, I do feel like it was missing some of those core things that makes a proper overworld. At the same time, again, I did grow to love it. But if you were to ask me and me be upfront and personal about it, I would say that the games of this era, the PlayStation 2 era of Burnout specifically, was the best it ever was and the best possibly it'll ever be, because I don't see the series coming back. Just like I said in my previous video regarding this almost a year ago now, but I really don't see them reviving the series. As much as it would be great and as fun as it would be, and they could do things to be a party-based game just like they did back then, I don't think that it would come back. Even with the online presence being stronger than it ever was before, as far as like, you know, the range of people that you'd have playing and what you could set up for an online server, I think unfortunately EA is just to the belief that it just wouldn't be beneficial. They have enough racing games that Burnout could just be left to dry, I guess. Which is sad, but there's nothing we can really do other than to hope and see what happens, but I don't see it happening. And with that, I guess we're just gonna tail off here. This is the best era. Revenge is possibly my favorite in the whole series. Granted, 3's soundtrack was top tier, but the gameplay and the game feel and the amount of dexterity that Revenge had was just top notch. They were really grinding when they made this game. They were really locked in. So, if you haven't played Burnout Revenge, and a lot of this video is basically about Burnout Revenge and my love for it. And with that, everybody, I hope you remembered this series fondly, and unfortunately, it's a series that I think is going to die out. It already has been fizzled out since Paradise, but I hope you all enjoyed. I want to thank you all for watching. I appreciate you all, and 1K gang, let's go. Play these games if you haven't before. Just get a feel for them, and if you have emulators or if you have a PlayStation 2, then pick up these games. You'll probably find them at a local bargain bin for $3 to $5, and it'll be all hunky-dory. You'll have hours of fun, I promise you. So thank you all once again. Peace!